What's up, everybody? Welcome to this latest episode of the POPAHOLICS podcast. I am one of your co-hosts here, Franklyn FM McInnis, and of course, I have my fellow co-host here with me, collecting plastic.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
So I do want to go ahead and point out up front here that we know that there are some official reveals for Funkoween that happened day 2 and day 3, but there are certain things that we've covered previously. So if you haven't checked out our day 1 impressions based off of Funkoween, please make sure you check out that video, maybe even before this one and then come back to this one, but it's up to you. But yeah, the things that you're seeing right now, we did address those already previously in that video. So we're just going to move ahead basically to the things that were new official reveals. And let's kick it off here basically with Nightmare Before Christmas.
So I like half of these and half of them I don't. Like, I think the train set is a great idea and I think it's executed well. It looks good. I like that the price point is $11, like what a regular pop would cost. So I imagine that they're going to be like in regular size pop boxes maybe, except for maybe Jack there. But what I like about it is, since it's Halloween and kind of Christmas themed the movie, for people that want to decorate their house during Halloween in the same way they do Christmas, really go all out. I think this is kind of cool because trains are pretty traditional to decorate at Christmas time.
Yeah, I definitely like the trains. I actually saw there's an image floating around of Jack's train. That's the actual pop. It looks really good, and I do like how with some of these train sets or some of the figures here, they're basically a blend of two different characters, so they're getting as much representation of different characters out of the movie as they can. I think it is pretty clever there as well.
Yeah, I like how Zero is in the wind-up duck that attacks one of the kids during the movie, and I also saw that image of Jack in the train there. I like the way the wheels are kind of off kilter. They're sculpted really well. It's really nice.
Yeah, and I never get pocket pops or whatever, but I mean, looking at those and you and I, just between us, we kind of talked about this previously, how it'd be so cool if they did ornaments of these characters as well. Maybe that's something that Funko will do eventually, because it would make a lot of sense. This movie, it has such a big fan base and it's really popular to display these things from October through on to December. So I think these are going to do really well, but you want to go and share your thoughts though about the art series ones?
They're garbage pretty much. Just lazy to me. I think the two Sallys are pretty hideous. Like, if they didn't have the other three Nightmare Before Christmas pops next to it, because I can at least recognize the shape of Oogie Boogie and the mayor. But if that Sally didn't have those three by it, I would have no idea that's Sally. I really wouldn't.
Yeah, and Sally, to me, she's the heart of the movie. I feel like if you're gonna do art series for her, it should be very colorful and very eye-catching. The way that these look, it's like Shang Tsung sucked the soul out of them or something. Like, I'm not really into them. And Oogie Boogie, again, like, I know they want to represent, like, that he has bugs on the inside of him, but I feel like they could do that in a more colorful way because, his sections in the movie are very colorful. They're not drab, and yeah, it just doesn't work for me. Same thing with the mayor. The mayor is a very fun character, and that black and white, like basically grayscale type thing going on is so drab looking to me.
It looks like a Jello pudding pop.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It really doesn't work. I will say at least though, and I'm glad they did put the word restock on the image, that if anybody missed out on that, like the larger size Jack Skellington and Zero that glow in the dark with FYE, it'll be available again, sometime soon if anybody did miss that and are interested.
Yeah, that's definitely a nice piece. That along with Jack and the snowmobile there, it's pretty cool for people that want to decorate for Halloween. And like you said earlier, the ornaments idea, I think is a great idea, especially with Nightmare Before Christmas. I was listening to one of the live streams that Funko does with one of the hosts named Ashley. She's the one with the glasses, and she mentioned an idea about maybe decorating a black Christmas tree during Halloween in the same way you would do Christmas. And I thought that was actually kind of a fun idea. So that's another reason I really like these trains, and those pocket pops could easily be turned into ornaments.
Yeah, and either do the ornaments as just a typical kind of set like mystery minis, but I'm saying mystery, but not really mystery, so much. Do those style boxes like they've done with some of the other previous releases, like the anniversary Mickey ones, where you can actually see what you're getting. Because yeah, people wouldn't want repeat ornaments, but yeah, it could definitely work for sure.
That, and they can finally use chrome again, and it would make sense, right? Chrome ornaments.
Yeah. Don't get them started on that. Also they did the reveal of the Gremlins. Like, how do you feel about these particular pops?
So I'm not a fan of Gremlins. I'm not a fan of like Gremlins, Back to the Future, uh, movies like that, Ghostbusters. I'm not a fan of those really, but I have to admit that these I think look really good. Uh, I think what really puts it over the top for me design wise is the 3D glasses, and hopefully that the lenses on them are clear like they are in these glams and not too dark where you can't see through them, because I think that's what really makes them look cool.
I will say real quick, I think this image is still that original image that had the mistake on it where it says Entertainment Earth exclusive for the non-flocked one, but I think that actually is going to be a common.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. They made a mistake. I think they corrected it um, after everybody bought it, probably, but they still corrected it.
Yeah. I'm really curious to see how the gremlin in the spaghetti pot ends up doing on Funko.com, whether he sells out quickly or not.
I think it will. I mean, it seems like almost anything they're putting up on Funko Shop now is selling out like if it were the hottest thing on the planet.
Yeah. Well, that one maybe it will end up doing well. Who knows? But I think one shelf warmer here is Gizmo with the jumbo size Gizmo that's going to be with Walmart. I just don't see that one being a big seller. We'll see what happens, but I just can't imagine a bunch of people grabbing that up because people get kind of picky, when it comes to the 10-inch ones because of space. It's understandable to be a bit picky about that.
Yeah, I only have a couple of big ones myself, and I think I have it's the Frankenberry, but it's only because it came in the like Christmas bundle that I have it, or else I probably wouldn't have bought that one. And I have Galactus, and that's it. There's other ones that I like, but like you say, space is definitely an issue with those. Like you have to have a pretty big dedicated room to have a lot of jumbo size pops. And also too, since the fact that it's Walmart, I've noticed a lot of Walmarts are putting those security bands over the jumbo size pops and completely ruining the box. Which is, I mean, fine if you're an out of box collector, but if you're not, they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot there.
Yeah, I with the 10-inch ones, I think I had most of mine out of box, but that would still bug me to see that though because I want the option. I haven't seen it so much in my area, but for some people, their local Walmarts, it seems like a standard thing, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I mean, I understand the people that are out of box collectors, blah blah blah. That's great, good for you. But like you say, I like to have the option. You never know when you just don't want something anymore, or you want to give it to somebody else. It's just nicer to be able to give it back to them in the original box. And it's one of the cool things about Funko is that they were smart in designing their packaging, where if you're careful, you can take them out of the package, put them back in, and they can still be considered mint if you're very, very careful.
Yeah. They did reveal one more Stitch pop. There's a lot of Stitch lately, but and you know what I noticed? I think it's a positive thing. At least with him, we don't see people complaining about why another Stitch pop, and I think it is because he's such a loved character. And then of course, as always, you don't have to get them all. And I think they're really mixing up the designs for him too, as well. Like this new Stitch pop here, him in the pumpkin. There's no other pop of him that looks very similar to this. It's very different.
Yeah, I was just thinking that because when they start making a lot of a certain character, I start to think of Deadpool, right? Because there's so many damn Deadpools, and some of those are original sculpts as well. But with the Stitch ones, there's not very many of them that are just straight up repaints. Almost every single one is a new sculpt, a new idea. So I do like them, and I don't collect them myself, but I do like them, and I do know more than one person that's the only thing they collect is Stitch. It's crazy. Like I never really expected like Lilo and Stitch to be such a popular property, but I started noticing it with people like that, like where I remember going and looking into her closet and I had no idea. So she's literally a closet collector, literally, where I opened the door and she had like 100 different like Stitch plushies and figures and everything. And I was like, what the heck? And she's like, oh yeah, I collect Stitch. I was like, okay, so I can see why the Stitch Pops are so popular and why they're making so many. Because I think people that aren't necessarily Funko fans are also getting these.
Yeah, and the jumbo size plush here, I was just thinking that you notice like he's sleeping. I think that's a great thing for, a kid, especially if you got a kid and it's nap time. break out the Stitch and let them know it's nap time. Go and lay down with your Stitch plush and go to
Yeah,
sleep.
that's a great plush. It really is.
Yeah, and I do want to say this is just my piece of advice. Like, if you're into Loungefly products at all, do make sure you check out the Loungefly website on a regular basis because they have some really awesome things that get released just very quietly. Like, if you're not following them directly on social media, you could miss some things that they're putting out there. So yeah, like they have the exclusive backpacks, of course, and the mini backpacks, and then they'll do some exclusive pop pins as well too. So like, yeah, if you have any interest in their products at all, do make sure you check out their actual website on a regular basis.
Yeah, I don't get the Loungefly stuff for myself, but I have bought it for other people, so I have been able to handle it, open it up, check out the quality, and I gotta say, man, I'm pretty impressed with the quality, the design of the Loungefly stuff, and I like that it's completely different than Funko Pops and Pop Collectibles. It's a completely different kind of collectible thing, and yeah, I like them. I even like this Stitch Vampire backpack, the way it opens and closes. I think that's really clever and just fun.
Yeah, yeah. Um, this was a big surprise to me personally, but I think it's so cool. The Vincent Price pop, um, which I think you mentioned to me before that you kind of discovered this before they did the official reveal, right?
Yeah, I forget which pop it was that I think Funko Pop Hunters. If you don't follow Funko Pop Hunters, great resource for anybody that's into Funko Pops. Really fast news and alerts and everything. Go check them out. But I think they had tweeted a link to some other Amazon exclusive or some pre-order. And as I was looking through that, I just happened to see Vincent Price, and I was like, "Are you serious? I mean, is this for real? Or like, was this released a while ago and I just didn't know?" So yeah, I went ahead and pre-ordered that right away. I'm gonna put that right next to my Elvira.
Yeah, I like it too, and I think the just the whole look of it is very unique because a lot of times, a guy in a suit can come out really plain looking, but this one I love the color of the suit that he's actually wearing there, and I like too that he's holding the cat and the cat is kind of like halfway awake. What they did with the eyes there is pretty clever. It's just a unique looking pop, so it's one I'm definitely gonna go for. And if you think that you don't know Vincent Price, like maybe look up his name on YouTube or something, check out some clips, and you might realize you actually are familiar with his voice at least because his voice has been used. It's like still today it pops up in different places, but some people may at least know it from Thriller by Michael Jackson. Is his voice is even on there.
Yeah, you'll know him just through cultural osmosis for sure.
Yeah, pretty much. And now with the Brightburn pop, I gotta say here, like I'm a bit surprised at one point on Entertainment Earth, as far as like the popular new releases, the Brightburn pop was actually top there for a little while. So maybe the movie has more of a fan base than I'm aware of. I'm not sure if this particular pop though does much for people that have not seen the movie.
Yeah, so I haven't seen the movie. This pop doesn't inspire me to see the movie. I think it's well designed for what it is. I can tell what it is. Um, but I just want to see the movie just from hearing. I think you were describing it to me once before, and I just didn't get around to watching it. But yeah, evil Superman idea sounds kind of good. But yeah, I have heard mixed feelings and reviews for it, but I still want to check it out. But yeah, the pop doesn't inspire me to go see the movie. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I really do want to hear from people in the comments. Like, if you are a fan of the movie, I mean, what do you think about this particular pop? Is this something that you're going to go for personally? I will say, it'd probably be nice if they did like a variant of it with like glow in the dark eyes or something, but I don't know if that'd be worth the trouble necessarily. But yeah, I'm definitely interested to hear what people think about this particular pop because, like I said, maybe it does have more of a fan base than I realized.
I do like the way the cape is flowing to the side and he's floating. It does convey like a character that's either harnessing or storing a lot of energy. I do see that in the sculpt, and I do
Yeah,
appreciate that.
yeah, the raggedness of the cape, which they I don't feel like they really addressed it enough in the movie. I can't remember for sure. I feel like it's a blanket, that he kind of changed up to be a costume there, but uh, it
Which
looks
makes
cool.
sense, like Superman.
Yeah, yeah, it does look cool when it comes down to it. It's kind of a clever idea. Not really fully developed in the movie. I could go off on a tangent about the movie. I won't. I just like I said, I do want to hear from people though.
Save it for another
What do you
video.
think about the movie and what do you think about the pop? Now, in the last video with the day one reveals, we did address the Marvel figures there. And this was not an official reveal. I just saw this image floating around, so I want to touch on this real quick. We have here the Venomized Ironheart, which I really like the look of this. I think it's way better than the other Ironheart pop because I'm not a big fan of that Ironheart costume. I know they wanted to get away from looking like Iron Man. They wanted something more unique for her, but it just doesn't work for me personally. So the fact that the symbiote covers up most of that costume there, I think it makes this one look pretty cool. I'm definitely going to add this to my personal collection.
Yeah, see, I'm not collecting the Venomized, or I don't even know anything about Ironheart either. I know it's kind of like a female Iron Man. I do know that. Um, Design wise, it looks cool. Not for me though.
Yeah, and that's understandable. But yeah, for those of you that are into the Venomized line, let me know what you think about this one. I think it's a pretty unique look. And of course, with my whole Funko news and everything, when I learn more about this release, I'll address this there basically.
Now, is that her brains coming out the top there? That blue part?
I'm not really sure. I don't know if it's meant to be that like a power source or something, maybe. I mean, who knows? With the symbiotes, there's really no telling. But yeah, maybe it's like a power source type thing. It does. I think it is meant to kind of convey like the brain type thing going on, but it
And
could
not
be
gonna
sort of
lie,
like a
man.
power source.
Not gonna lie. On the knees there, and on her that hand that kind of looks like a, I don't know, long flipper kind of thing. Those look like white heads to me, man. It's making my
It's
skin crawl a little bit.
Well, to me, they did some things different with this one. I don't know if there's any story behind that at all. Like, this is not something that's typical with the symbiote because it looks almost, I mean, literally on the top of her head, like you see horns forming there. So I guess
Yeah.
that's the same type of thing on her knee and her arm as well. It's different though. Maybe they just did it different for the sake of being something different to set it apart from the other ones, or who knows? Maybe within the comics there's some story behind that. If there is something to it from the comics. I'm sure somebody will share that with us, in the comments here. Now, this for me was one of the most hyped things of the week. I immediately ordered two of these because I really do like Corpse Bride. My friend Kat D helped me get into this movie. So, and she actually wanted to see a pop of Emily with the worm coming out of the eye. So, yeah, the fact that they made this and they made a diamond, which I like some diamond pops as long as they don't have too much black on them because that can look kind of rough. So hopefully this one looks really awesome up close.
Yeah, the black diamonds, the diamond effect on black does kind of make it look like a salt and pepper or like it has dandruff or something. But I actually really love this one, and I wish I wouldn't have hesitated to buy it because I did have that split second chance, but I hesitated because I have the original. Um, but what I like about this one is that they didn't just diamond the original. They changed it up a bit. They added the worm, and they didn't diamond the whole thing. They just did her hair. I think the blue hair and the blue, like those darker violet flowers on top, look really good. The diamond looks great in blue. And yeah, I think this is a pretty great figure.
Yeah, and we do want to remind people though, of course, I know it's something we've touched on in previous podcasts that remember when something pre-sales out on a website like Hot Topic, it does not mean that it's gone forever. They put up just a few at a time. I think maybe that's partially to avoid bots, and maybe it's partially to get the hype going, basically. But yeah, if you didn't get this one right away, don't stress that because there will be more opportunities on the website, and then also it's going to be in stores eventually as well. And I've touched on it previously too, how Hot Topic is still putting out some figures like restocks of figures that came out years ago. So really no need to stress if you don't have this pre-ordered yet.
Usually, because sometimes they don't. So you never know.
Well, yeah, I'll just say if you see it, go ahead and get it. But if you have a Hot Topic in your area, that's probably the best way to go actually instead of stressing over the website. Like, catch it while it's in store and just don't procrastinate on it. Yeah, don't procrastinate and you should be all right.
Yeah, and most hot topics are pretty good. Like almost every hot topic, well, the ones around me, and even when I've traveled around, I'll look to, just because I'm curious. They usually have an Instagram account that before they
Yeah.
open, they'll let you know what they got. So go at opening. It shouldn't be that hard. I mean, if you can. I know a lot of people work all
Yeah.
the time. Like I almost never have time during the week. I have to actually, if it's something I really, really want, I call in. But it's only for like con exclusives and things like that.
Yeah, I think the only exception is like if it's going to be something with a chase, sometimes they don't post that because they don't want issues at the door or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, yeah, follow your local Hot Topic. That is a good idea. Now, you got to talk here about the Demon Slayer ones because I really don't know much about the series.
So yeah, I've been watching the series, but I'm watching it with a friend. So, I can't just go binge it because I guess we'll need to see it together, right? Um, but from the little bit I've seen of the series, I think these characters, Funko translated them very well into pop form. I think they all look excellent. And what I really like about it is Tanjiro, the main character here, is I see five of him on this screen, but all five are different. They either have different outfits on, or different powers going on, or something on the head, where sometimes certain lines like this run into a problem where they make too many of the main character and they all just look alike, or it's all the same head, just with different bodies, and they start to look kind of all the same in your collection. That kind of happened with my Suicide Squad pops, where all the Harleys and all the Jokers kind of all had the same head on them. But with this, even though the head is very similar and the hair sculpt is almost the same on all of them, the fact that one of them has a mask, one of them has the powers going on, or the flaming sword, that moment there is amazing. Like, I wonder how that's going to look in person. The effect there in the middle, the pink effect, looks really cool on that glam, but who knows how that's going to look in person, if that's going to be translucent or painted or what. But so far, I think the series is very, very solid, and I think people that have been waiting for these should be pretty happy with these.
Yeah, and the glow in the dark box launch exclusive of the main character, I think that does look really awesome. Like I've seen an image of the actual figure. It does look pretty cool. Well, I do want to kind of ease minds again because I know a lot of these, especially the exclusives, have like pre-sold out. But again, they'll be available again. Don't stress over that too much. You should get another opportunity at most of the exclusives here. And the sister character wasn't even up yet on box launch, right?
No, the Tanjiro or the sister character, I don't think Box Lunch has gone live. I'm pretty sure that I saw where Box Lunch responded to somebody, and this this was their time frame. They go, "It's going up sometime in the summer." So that as far
Yeah.
as when it's gonna go up, that's gonna be a crapshoot. But I do know that Box Lunch, like Hot Topic, tends to get a lot. I have a Box Lunch near me, and whenever they get an exclusive, they usually get like 100 of them. So,
Yeah,
per
yeah.
store. So you should be
I've
good.
actually been in box lunch and yeah, they really stock up very well with their exclusives. As a non-fan, could you tell me real quick here what's going on with the Michael Jackson looking guy?
Okay, so I don't know too much about him. I don't think he's supposed to look like Michael Jackson, even though isn't that one of the funny things about Japan, how Japan still thinks Michael Jackson is super cool, right? So maybe he was inspired by it, but yeah, I do see why people are comparing it because when I first saw it myself too, I was like, dude, this guy is one smooth criminal, you know?
Yeah, he straight up looks like a evil Michael Jackson. Somebody that knows about the series, they can clue me in. I know you probably don't want to be spoiled on it, but yeah, if you could tell me about that character, I'm interested to know what's going on with him, why he has that particular look about him.
Yeah, I'm only about 4 or 5 episodes in, so I don't know too much about him yet. But I do see he does look like Michael Jackson, especially with the white tie and everything. And he's even got a grabby hand going on.
What do you think about the Chalice collectibles exclusive there?
Okay, so I like it, right? I think it's really cool. I pre-ordered that one. I hate how Chalice makes her exclusives $20. I was like, come on, guys, you're scalping your own exclusive. But anyway, um, I would have preferred the chase to be the flocked boarhead, because the common has the boar head on it, and it would have been perfect. And when I ordered it, it didn't really tell you which one was the chase. They didn't put that on right away. So I don't know why. I just in my head I figured, oh, I'll order two. If I don't get the chase, at least I'll have the unmasked one. So I'll have the common boarhead, and if I get lucky and get the flock boarhead, that's cool because it's the chase. Or I'll just get them unmasked, and I'll have the same character, different poses, masked and unmasked. That's perfect. But they made the unmasked one the chase. I wish it would have been flipped around, to be honest.
Yeah, I understand that reasoning too, and yeah, I definitely want to hear from people that are fans of Demon Slayer. How do you feel about that? Do you think they made the right move with the chase, or they should have reversed it, like you said? It's interesting too that they both say flocked. So the one without the mask, I mean, are they flocking his hair there, or is it part of his
No, he's
costume?
got he's got like above his pants. If you look at it, he's got some fur. So
Oh,
I think they're
okay.
flocking that fur, which
Okay.
is nice. They didn't have to do that. I do like that they're doing that though.
Yeah, I like that they can do those fine details now because like the old school flock pops, some of them not a little bit on the rough side, but yeah, they can do those fine details now, which is cool.
Yeah, like I remember, I think it's Lion-O, from the Thundercats, the flocked one. I think they even flocked his eyes. They flocked the entire pop.
Yeah, yeah, like I said, old school is definitely a difference, but yeah, they've
Yeah.
improved in fans have been waiting so long on these Demon Slayer pops. I definitely want to hear responses to these. Like, what do you think about the designs that are available so far? And of course, what else do you want to see from Demon Slayer as well?
Yeah, so of course I haven't seen the entire series 3 times like a lot of people have, and I think there's a movie in the theaters right now. But from the little I've seen, like I said, I'm only about 4 or 5 episodes in. Um, I think these are pretty accurate and they look really cool so far. I think the designs in general, like the jacket colors and everything, really just translate so well into pop form.
Yeah. Oh, let me point out as well. This is mainly for new collectors. The AAA anime exclusive. Basically, AAA is like a distributor, so you're gonna find that pop available with various retailers. Basically, I know Entertainment Earth sometimes carries the AAA anime exclusives. There's also a website called Arconia.us, I think, that sometimes has those as well. So you'll be able to find that one with different retailers.
So they're kind of like a specialty series or like a PX previews, but for
Yeah.
anime.
Yeah. Exactly.
And they also have the ugliest sticker in the game.
Yeah, there's some that'd be interesting actually to put the ugliest stickers up against each other, see which one is the ugliest because
Although that
there are
Galactic
some.
Toys one's is hideous too, I think.
Which one's that?
The Galactic Toys one, I think
Yeah,
it's pretty ugly.
it seems like they would have updated that by now, but yeah, there's a couple stickers out there that are not so hot basically. Now, they're calling these here Frightkins. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that these are sort of a variation on Wetmore Forest though. These new figures here.
Yeah, I'm completely clueless about these. Although the ones on top there on the top left, those look like vinyl and the eyes look round like Popeyes. So are those going to be like in pop boxes?
Yeah, I think so. It's two pops here and two plushes, and it's interesting too that they're Hot Topic exclusives. But yeah, that's what's going on with those.
Okay, I mean, I don't hate the designs. I think they're kind of cool. I would have liked a little bit more color instead of just, gray and red and black and purple. I would have liked a little bit more color variation. Um, but yeah, I wouldn't. These seem like they could have easily been called spastic plastic. Um, because I like the original Funko designs, but I'm not sure if these are even original Funko designs or what. Or I really don't know much about them.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, I think they're
they're
kind of
original.
cool.
Yeah, they are original. Frykins is a new thing. It's original, and like I said, it's the designs are very similar to Wetmore Forest, especially the plush there on the right. Really reminds me of Wetmore Forest. I
Like
do
like
kind of
Wet or
wonder.
Haunted Forest.
Yeah, basically, it's like Wetmore Dark Forest or something. But yeah, I kind of wonder like who's the audience for this because for some parents they might find them a little bit too creepy for their kids and I don't know maybe some adults are into these. I really that's something I'd like to hear from the listeners as well. Like who do you think is the audience for these? Are you interested in these personally?
I don't know, man. Like I have a goddaughter, and she just turned 4, and she loves monsters and things like that. She likes me to read monster books to her. Um, so I think she would really like these, to be
Uh,
honest. And the one on the bottom left, the plushie, I'm surprised that that plushie has more color and detail than the pops. Like I think the design on that plushie is really nice, and it looks like it's really high quality. I actually really like that one. I probably would buy that one for her, to be honest.
Yeah, that one has a pretty cool design because what I like about it is like it has certain elements of different animals, but you can't pin it to be like one specific thing. So it really does make it feel like something that's its own, that's unique.
Yeah, I like it, and I love the combination of pink with black and gray. I just love that combination.
Yeah, and then it's interesting to see this here side by side with the little golden books because Funko is not new to publishing. They actually did some Wetmore Forest books that were exclusive, at least to Barnes and Noble. I'm not sure if they were at another bookstore. And also they've done some things with comics, as well with I think IDW or something like that. But so they're not completely new to publishing, but I guess they're gonna be more consistent with it now. I think I've seen that they're going to put out at least like 2 books a year. And
Yeah, I like the idea of these little golden books. Like I
yeah,
said, same little girl that would like these ones would love these little books and would love for me to read them to her. And I think it's nostalgic for the adults too, because I think almost any adult that's around our age read little golden books as a kid.
hmm yeah. And what's interesting too is that, of course, you see here we have the Universal monsters. So maybe this will be a way also to kind of expose kids to some characters they're not familiar with, and then they get to grow up with them as well. I like that idea.
Yeah, although I did think it was odd of all the things to start a children's book line with monsters. Right?
Well,
I
well,
did think that was a little odd, but I'm telling you, kids love monsters and creepy things. They really do.
Well, you know what just came to mind? Goosebumps. Goosebumps is
Yes.
hugely popular still, like, and some other horror books as well. It's funny to me, like it's almost odd to hear kids sometimes mention like Bunnicula even, that book, which was such a strange story. But yeah, like you said, yeah, like monsters do appeal to some kids. I mean, there's definitely that audience out there. So it's gonna be interesting to see, what else they also do with the little golden books, like what other properties are they going to bring into that?
Yeah, and if you're out there going like, "Oh, what the hell is these little golden books?" Blah blah blah. Well, not everything is for everybody. You got to remember that.
Yeah, Funko's doing a lot for a lot of different people. It's smart business when it comes down to it, and if it helps the company, then it helps all collectors basically.
And I think they're branching out into the right things. These books are collectible, but they're not, you know, sharing the market with pops. Yeah, they have pops in them, but they're not just another type of vinyl collectible with the same characters. The Loungefly backpacks, yeah, same characters and stuff, but it's a completely different kind of collectible, and I think that's smart. And if you're a Funko shareholder, that's good.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Now, I'm one of those people that now, I know a lot of people dropped off The Walking Dead after the first episode of season 7. It was just too much for some people. I stuck with it through season 7, but then I was done after that. But these new pops here, very well known characters, and what do you think about the designs here for them?
Okay, so I'm one of those that is a couple of seasons behind, and I think it was around season 7. Not so much because I don't want to keep watching it or it got too out there for me. Like, honestly, The Walking Dead became very bullshitty around season 4 to me, right? I was like, okay, this is a little BSy. But I stuck with it, and I want to continue watching it, but it's just I watch it on Netflix, so I'm always, a couple seasons behind. But that said, and not being up to date with the seasons, yeah, I can instantly recognize who these characters are. I love that Daryl comes with a dog. I love that there's a new updated Maggie, because old Maggie is still in the very, very old pop style. I think Carol looks good. I almost pre-ordered the Negan, the first to market, but I was like, do I really want to pay $23 just because it has a first to market sticker on it? Probably not. So I held off. I might regret that. But even the Negan, I think it's great, and he looks very different than the other pops of him. So yeah, I really like them, all 4 of them.
Yeah, there were some Negan, at least one Negan mold, might have been more than one though, that was reused a couple times. So it is nice to see a new one for him. Even though I dropped off from the series, who knows, I might end up getting a couple of these as well, just because I like the design so much. And I don't know if I'll ever get back into the series fully, but like I still have a lot of love for certain characters like Carol, and yeah, these designs are pretty cool. Like they definitely, it's nice to be able to see the progression with the pops, of the characters. I think that's pretty
Yes.
cool.
Although I'm gonna be one of those guys like, come on, Funko, like, why not more zombies? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know why they don't make more Walking Dead zombies. Like that's what got me into collecting the Walking Dead pops to begin with. I was like, these zombies are so cool that I started collecting just the zombies because I thought they were amazing, and they are. Like to this day, I think that the Walking Dead zombies are some of the coolest pops that Funko has ever made. And I feel like when they put out a new wave like this, I think every new Walking Dead wave should have at least just one zombie in it. I don't know
yeah,
why they don't do that.
yeah. So there's two walkers that come to mind that are like favorites in my collection. That's the Well Walker. I love the way the body actually splits. That's so cool.
Yeah, I love that
And
one.
and the Flaming Walker as well is still a really awesome pop.
Yeah, the Flaming Walker. I want to say I put it in my top 10 of the year whenever that came out. I also like the Teddy Bear Girl. Very iconic. The
Yeah.
Bicycle Girl looks great. A lot of the zombies look awesome.
Yeah, and that's something else I want to hear from listeners. Like, if you stuck with The Walking Dead, because like I don't know personally, like nothing comes to mind because I haven't been following the series. But are there any particular walkers that stand out that you think would be awesome as pops? So I did check out your video about the issues with Funko's social media. Um, you just want to go ahead and touch on that just briefly with Carrie, and I think people should check out your video as well.
Okay, so as I was looking at the reviews today, or at the social media posting by Funko, I noticed that when they posted this one, like the first however many comments were all people going, "God, Funko, you idiots! Why didn't you make her bloody? Why isn't there a bloody chase? You had one job." And it's like, dude, how are you guys so positive about this? Not even you guys don't even bother to Google or look or anything, but there has been a bloody Carrie, and she's amazing. She's one of my favorite pops. She looks great. So if this was the very first Carrie pop they put out, I'd be like, oh, really? Maybe I don't want that. I mean, I don't recognize it as Carrie right away. But I saw an image of her with the box, and it's the exact same box as the bloody Carrie. So I think if you have that bloody Carrie, this is almost a must-have to put them side by side, going, look, oh, there she is when she thought she's the prom queen, and boom, there's the pig blood one. I think they will look great together, and yeah, I'm definitely gonna get this one. I didn't pre-order it though because I still think that Walmart hasn't caught up with everybody else and figured out how to ship pops, because every single time I've ordered a pop from Walmart, it's always messed up, always. So I'm gonna take my chances with this one.
I definitely have a memory relapse issue, I guess, because every time I see a Walmart exclusive that's really cool, I get all hyped. I pre-order it, and then I'm like, the shipping, you know. But
Yeah.
I have looked up sometimes. I've had some pops that arrived in good condition, but I've had some that were horrendous. I got an exclusive Beetlejuice. The box was so beat up, I just ended up tossing it. I'm like, at least it's a figure that looks really cool out of the box. But yeah, sometimes with Walmart is probably better to be patient because they do really well with stock and their exclusives anyway. You just gotta wait sometimes.
Yeah, and when the Walmart exclusives first come out, even if you don't have a Walmart near you, or if you go and you just can't find it because the distribution at Walmart is spotty. Like a Walmart in Florida might get 100 of these, and then a Walmart in California may just never get them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's always that. But almost usually on eBay, the Walmart exclusives right away, they don't go for much more than $5 above retail. Maybe over time they'll go up more, but if you miss out and you can't find it in the store, check eBay. You might not have to pay that much more for it. And
Yeah.
remind me, does Walmart.com charge for shipping?
They do. Sometimes I don't know, their shipping is so inconsistent. Sometimes it seems like a little too much, but then I've had times where I'm like, well, did they charge me for the shipping or not? Like, because it doesn't seem like the price like went up very much. So it's inconsistent. I don't
Okay.
know what that's about. But like, getting back to the Carry Pop, like you said, I'm really looking forward to seeing those two pops side by side because I already had the bloody one. I'm really glad they did not do it where this one came out and then it had the bloody chase because that would have been kind of frustrating, to try
Yeah.
to get the chase. So I'm really glad it's done this way. And like I said, I think they are going to look pretty awesome.
And it looks like the crown might even be translucent with like the beadwork done in like a silver metallic. Or it could just be all silver, the crown. But if it's translucent with the silver beadwork, that's going to look nice. And then there's a lot of nice details with the flowers, her toes poking through. At first glance, this may look like kind of a boring just person pop, but it's got a nice sculpt to it for
And
sure.
and for fans of the movie, I think fans can appreciate this right away. And if
Yes.
you just a quick suggestion, if you are a horror fan and you've never seen the original Carrie, get on that because the remakes definitely don't do it justice. Yeah, definitely check out the original.
Hey, the remake's not bad if you like what's her name? Chloe Moretz. Um it's not bad, but it
Yeah,
doesn't
I like
compare
the
to the original.
casting. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like the casting, but I feel like yeah, the first just hits on a different level. It feels like a classic.
And is the
Um,
original Carrie directed by Brian De Palma? So
I think so. Yeah,
I think it
yeah.
is. And man, that guy, I mean, you're getting somebody like of course Brian De Palma isn't like Quentin Tarantino, but just imagine someone that isn't really a horror director. Well, I get maybe he is actually. Maybe I'm misspeaking because I think maybe Brian De Palma do Rosemary's Baby, or I might be confusing that. But the Brian De Palma that I know makes a lot of femme fatale, thriller, mystery kind of movies. So imagine a director like that making a horror movie. So it's not like a slasher, it's not action packed, but it's a slow build, it's creepy, very memorable.
Yeah, and on the opposite spectrum, La Llorona. Because dude, I fell asleep on that movie. I cannot make it through it, and so even though these pops here look pretty cool, like especially the chase. I mean, really, they're both creepy in their own way, but I won't be adding it to my collection. I'm just not a fan of the movie. Like I said, I literally fell asleep on it twice, like trying to watch it.
Are you saying that La Llorona bored you to tears?
Yeah,
So
basically.
I really like the look of this pop, both of them. I like that the chase has the veil up because they could have easily had the common have the veil up as well and just have the eyes black with no mouth. But I love that the veil is down and that the veil is up with the yellow eyes and the mouth on the chase. I think it's nice. I think it's a great, great chase. So La Llorona is kind of like an urban legend or almost like a myth from Latin America, like Venezuela, I know Mexico, and I think even the United States. The story of her is like she drowned her children in a lake, so the husband couldn't get them, and she haunts and it's what you tell children not to wander off too far because La Llorona is gonna get you. So I the only thing I wish is that this pop wasn't in the actual movie La Llorona line, and it was more in like the myth and legends series. I would have loved
Y-
that so much more.
Yeah, and I wonder if some people will purchase it just on the strength of the urban legend and just on the design itself. I mean, some people may go for it just off of that. Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll
I
be
think so. I
interesting to
think
see
the
how
movie
this
hurts
does.
this one. I think the movie hurts it.
Yeah, but it does have a chase though, so I think some people will go for it. But this is one of those chases. I wouldn't be surprised if it has that like kind of high initial price where people are selling it for like over 50, and then after a while it's like a $25 chase.
Yeah, who knows? This one's gonna be hard to judge because it does have that added cultural aspect to it, which might be bigger than the movie.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see. That's definitely something I'm going to be watching for. And of course, you all share in the comments as well what you think about La Llorona, what you think about each of these pops here, including the chase. And I want to hear your thoughts about the movie as well. Like, what do you think about the actual La Llorona movie as well? Yeah.
And I even noticed that actually on the chase, her hands are up too, because you know how sometimes on the chases just the head will be different or just the body, but it looks like the sculpt on the body and the head are different. So that's
Yeah.
another thing.
I
It's a great
kind of
chase.
wonder too if there's actually well, I mean, when I look at it closer, I don't know, the dresses look the same pretty much, but I wonder if they did any like subtle differences with the dresses as well. It's kind of hard to tell, with these types of images.
Yeah, to me the paint application on the dress looks about the same. But I didn't notice the arms at first, but yeah, it's a
Yeah.
nice little touch.
Yeah, at least they put a little more effort into it. I know for a while collectors were getting really frustrated where it'd be the common and then the chase just has something in his hand, you know.
Yeah.
So at least it's like a different
If that.
positioning. I remember they did that Jasmine pop where the only difference was the chase had an apple in her hand.
Yes, that one was pretty bad.
Yeah, but yeah, so those are the day 2 and 3 reveals. Is there anything else you want to touch on as far as these reveals are concerned?
No, I think it was pretty solid 2 days.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what they do to finish out the week. Like you said, FNAF is a possibility. And I wonder if they're gonna touch on the gold line at all this week. If they'll do an official reveal, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? I mean, I guess that'd be very hard to connect to Halloween. I mean, Demon Slayer is a little bit of a stretch, but I guess demons. But yeah, the sports gold series or music.
Well, they did put it out there that they would be dropping in some things that are not horror related. So who knows? And it would make sense if they're kind of slowly transitioning towards like moving away from horror some, but I don't know. I guess we'll find out here pretty soon and do at least one more of these podcasts based on this week's reveal. So definitely be on the lookout for that.
All right, man. Thanks for listening. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and take her easy.
All right, you all.